Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you are watching this. And in today's episode, appearing over my left shoulder, will be Mr. DB Mini DIY. How you doing, pal?
Hi everyone, good. Yourself?
I'm very, very well. You know, things going on in the world and we're just trying our best, aren't we, I think? I think everybody's just trying their best to just get on with it. So we're going to try and make some content for the lovely people, I believe. Is that right?
That sounds good, and can I say before you start, you're doing a great job with these videos.
Oh, thank you very much. Do you know what? I'm enjoying them. So if four people watch, because I'm absolutely loving finding out about different things about people. I think it's really good fun. And hopefully, I've got some questions that might find a bit more information out about you. So, what we'll do, we'll kick straight into it. A lot of the questions are going to be very familiar of what you've already heard, so you might have had some answers lined up. But as everybody knows, these are one takes, whatever happens, and we just go. So, question number one, are you ready, bud?
Go for it, ready and raring to go.
Excellent. So, what made you start a YouTube channel?
When I started the Mini, there was only a few channels that had any video footage on it.
Yeah.
I looked at a few, and there was a lot of stills, you know, that sort of type.
Yeah.
The two I did find was Kev from the Gentleman's Motor Racing Team and Bad Obsession.
Yes.
And that got me into digging. I thought, you know what, I'm doing quite a lot of research to find out and learn. I thought, why don't I make it easier for someone or anyone out there and basically do the same for them. And I thought it'll be interesting in years to come to watch. So
yeah, well that's it. I think that's a. How long have you had the YouTube channel now?
It'll be 4 years, I believe.
Wow. So,
yeah.
I remember, obviously, before I started, I've watched quite a lot. I watch every video you upload quite quickly as soon as you upload it, to be honest. And one of the things, obviously, you was one of the channels that made me start a channel because, you know, I think it's the thing is about a lot of the YouTubers. Everybody brings something different to the game. I know we're restoring minis. We are all doing that, but we're all doing it in different ways. We all have different budgets, we all have different mindsets, I think is the main thing.
And we've all got different personalities.
Yes, yeah. And I think if you're true to how you are in real life and on camera, obviously you do have to judge it up a bit because I'm quite a grumpy person in real life. And I try and come across as a happy-go-lucky guy, but most of the time I'm just don't want to speak to anybody and I just hide away. So
I don't believe you.
No, thank you. So we've got that one there. So number two, again, question that's been mentioned quite a lot on the channel is dream 3-car garage. Now, I've had a couple of questions come back at me with this one. So what I will say is these don't have to be a daily motor. If you do want one to be a daily motor, fine. But you can have a daily motor that's outside the garage. What I'm saying is 3 cars that you want in your possession.
Excluding minis.
No, you can have a mini if you want in there, but you can only have one. Or you can have 3, but if it's 3 minis, it's 3 minis, it's a small garage.
You see, that's a hard question because I've got 3 cars here. and if I choose another 3, I'm thinking that's me neglecting my cars.
Well, let's put this completely in fantasy then. You don't have your 3 that are sat there. What money, no objects, what are you having?
Right, okay. Then I will be... Supercar wise, I will go for a McLaren P1.
Lovely.
Just for a drive, just for a laugh.
Why not?
A Mini, obviously. I think everyone's seen a Mini. I would have to have a Mini in my life. I can't imagine not having a Mini in my life.
No.
And the third one, which I will own at some point in my life, a Volkswagen T2 camper.
Wow, do you know what a lovely selection there. Yeah, the T2. I didn't think you was a VW man.
There's something that the same as with the Morris Minor and the Mini. I'm drawn to the T2 camper. It makes me smile when I look at it.
That's it, that's it. It's all about the smiles. It's all about the grin factor. If it makes you smile when you look at it, who cares?
Totally. Yeah, totally.
Perfect answer. Now, obviously, you do a lot of how-to guides on your channel, which are awesome, by the way. I will say that to you. I follow quite a lot. What's the hardest job that you've ever had to do? It can be mini, can be non-mini related. What have you found that's quite difficult?
Do you know there's one, and it's a simple little thing
Go on.
that I started 4 years ago, taking the engine out. Right, getting the rope in out of the gear linkage.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know what? I couldn't do it. I was under the car for 3 or 4 hours, and eventually I gave up and I cut the rod.
Did
and
you?
I bought a new one. And literally yesterday, because I've got the engine on the stand now, I tried to get it out with a special tool, and it's still giving me problems.
No way. I had the same issue. I dropped mine with my gear linkage because I couldn't get mine out either.
Yeah, I think that even shades it past fitting a radiator in the Mini. But that one's by far the worst, and it's still plaguing me to
Wow.
this day.
Fair enough. No, perfect. Now, I think you've probably already answered this with the smile factor, but why minis? What's the reason for a mini?
Just, you know what, you'll know yourself. Once they're in your blood, they're in your blood.
Yeah.
And you know, my biggest regret, one of the first cars I looked at to buy was a Mini.
No way.
And I took it to my local mechanic, and he lifted the carpet, he says, "Do you see that?" I says, "Yeah." He says, that's the road."
Yeah.
So, and I passed on that. I never got it, and I really wish I had. But there's something, you know, I tell my kids stories about the Minis at night time.
Yeah.
And the wife just kind of looks at me in a strange way, you know. Yeah, they're just, I've always, when I've seen one drive past, every single time, even when I've got them now, I just smile.
Yeah, you have to. I've had a lot of different cars, and I was a mad Vauxhall man before I got into minis. Massive Vauxhall fan. I've had loads of Novas and things.
Nice Nova as well.
Yeah. And I built that myself. I was quite proud of that one. But I've had quite a few Novas and other Vauxhalls in the past, and I was always a Vauxhall man. And then a friend turned up with a Mini that he'd been given off his granddad, and I'm pretty sure you could put your fist in the wing. It had a hole that big in it, and it was just rotten, and it drove like absolute crap. But I tell you what, I drove it around the block, and I've never smiled and laughed so much in my life. Never.
Totally.
They're just brilliant. They're just brilliant. So you've answered that one there for me. This is a good question. I asked Keith this one. What makes you decide whether to restore a part or buy it new?
I've never bought a car new because...
No, sorry, not a car, a part.
A part. Okay. A part. Oh, well. Because I've got Rover Minis, the parts are easier to get.
Yeah.
With Eleanor, everything's heritage.
Yeah.
It's just kind of a snub factor, I suppose. With Ed, I've made do with cheaper parts and cheaper panels, but if it depends on the part, to be honest. If it's going to be something that's not going to last, or refurbing something, then, for example, I'll be refurbing the carbs. I'll not be looking new for the carbs. So anything I can refurb, I will. But things like alternators and stuff, I'll even if I've got one that's working, it doesn't look good, I'll look for a new one.
Yeah, no, I think that's a fair point. It's something that you don't want to let you down. Is that what you're saying, basically? If it's something that...
Pretty much, reliability, and you basically, it's the same old story, you get what you pay for. If you pay the good money, then it'll last. Yeah,
no, that's a fair point. No, that's a perfect answer. Let's have a look then. Obviously, we'll go on to the YouTube question. Obviously, you've had your channel 4 years, and there's lots of little channels that have popped up over the time period. What advice would you give to a small channel, I'm quite small still, like myself, or a person thinking about starting YouTube? What's your best bit of advice for them?
The best single bit of advice I could give is have fun. Because I've said since the start, as soon as I stop enjoying it, then I stop recording, I stop editing.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It's hard at times weighing up, trying to cover a full restoration and weighing up what's boring and what's not.
Yeah.
I think Keith Miller said it as well. If you spend too long on one area, people tend to get bored.
Yeah.
So it's weighing it up, but at the end of the day, you have to have fun and you have to bring your personality out.
I think that's a perfect answer, because if you're not having fun, or if it is becoming a chore, I think that will come across in the video. And I think
totally,
yeah,
totally. I am. You've seen some of my outtakes, and that's a very, very small few. And I mean, I have conversations with myself on the camera for when I'm editing later
yeah,
on, and like I say, the wife, she thinks I'm crazy anyway with these
yeah.
cars. But then when she sees me talking to myself on the camera, she just yeah.
No, do you know what? That's a very honest and true answer. I think that's absolutely superb. Let's go on to something off of YouTube now. Do you have, I don't know this about yourself, do you have any other hobbies other than minis? Or cars in general? In cars, really?
Yeah. Well, the kids take up a lot of my spare time.
Yeah.
I do football coaching for one of them,
Yeah.
so I help as a football coach for that. When I've got spare time, I am also interested in planets and planetary,
Wow. Okay. Okay.
all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But my time, literally, I've got 3 kids.
Yeah.
Between 3 kids, work, and four or five, I lose track how many cars. I've got, my life is so jam packed that
Yeah.
I rarely have time for anything else.
Fair play. Fair play. No, I've got 2 kids myself, and
I'm not complaining. I wouldn't have it any other way.
No, no. Well, that's it. That's it. And sometimes it's. I mean, I took a massive break from YouTube, as everybody's aware, and the main reason for that was to spend some time with the family. You know, I'd literally just done cars, and not neglected the family. You know, they were, still here, but you're literally getting in from your garage or your shed at 11, 12 o'clock at night when the kids have gone in bed and your wife's in bed. And you just think, I need to just calm this down a bit. And so that's a fair point. Yeah, that's a fair point. Between kids and work and life in general, it is hard to keep going sometimes. But no, fair enough. Going back to a YouTube question, I'll mix these up a bit. What other YouTube channels do you enjoy?
Oh, you know what? I've got so many.
Mm.
But going back to the question I had earlier on, the question I answered earlier on, the two first channels I watched were the Kev from the Gentleman's Motor Racing team and Bad Obsession.
Yeah.
Obviously Project Binky, and having met Kev since watching his videos, it's a strange experience, but he's such a decent guy. And
he's an absolute legend.
You know what I mean? I don't have to tell you that.
No.
Your channel, I'm always first watching your channel.
Cheers, mate.
And I have to say, for me, I like seeing the technical side of it, but I like seeing people's personalities.
Yeah.
And that's when Piper Doug and Randy Mini come into it as well. You know what? I love these guys are all, they're filming and they're showing you everything, and they're not fabricating stuff. They're showing you their mistakes. They're showing, you know what I mean? And I've got so many. I couldn't go through them all, but those are the sort of select few that I think as soon as a video comes on, I'm like, oh yeah, no.
Yeah. To be fair, every channel you've mentioned there is more or less it's honesty. It's honesty, and that's one thing I look for in a channel as well. I watch some channels, like you say, that I watch some channels that are very technical, and I really enjoy them. And I watch some channels where the cinematics are absolutely superb and out of this world. But then I also, like I say, watch channels for the person that is broadcasting to me. I think that's a very good answer. Yeah, love that bud.
My channel's not the cinematic one, is it?
Do you know what? Your buttery shots, mate, out of this world. But going back to that, when you said you met Kev, I remember meeting you at Bingley Hall, and like I say, you was one of the first. You and Mini Mac was the first channels I watched, and I genuinely. This is not blowing smoke now. I was genuinely starstruck when I met you, and it was almost. I watched this person, and then I've met this person. It's weird, really strange.
When I met you, it was, you know what it's like. I've known you for years.
Yeah.
And you, along with all the other guys, this is what you get from this channel. From YouTube. You know, it's such a fantastic experience.
It's such a good community. I think it's totally. and it's so welcoming. You know, and I think that's absolutely super. That was a brilliant answer. Now, I asked William Murphy this because again, you do quite a lot of how-tos. You've been on the scene quite a long time. Now, I've dealt with some absolutely amazing companies buying some parts for the Fiesta recently, and it's so much so that on one of the door cards we're actually doing giving outstanding customer service and with putting their logo on there. I'm just wondering, have you yourself experienced great customer service or quality of parts from retailers? And to mention a few, really, who do you go to for your mini parts? I suppose the question.
Well, I've heard a few mentioned already. For smaller parts, Minimime, can't go wrong. Next day delivery, any issues, they don't question anything. They're straight. You've got a fault, they'll send you another one. No questions asked. So that for smaller things, I'll go to Minimime for smaller tools, things like that. My main one is Bull Motif Mini Spares. They, I find their price quite reasonable and their parts are really good quality. If I've had any problems, which I've had very few, I've went to them and they've came straight back and they've rectified it, or they've given, but even if you're not buying from them and you send them a question, they'll help you out because they're part of the mini community.
Superb. Two things.
I've actually, as you'll see on the channel in the next 30 weeks coming, I've just spent £1,000 on I hope the wife doesn't watch this.
I'm going to say your wife doesn't watch my channel.
That's on panels and parts, and that's all from Bull Motif.
Fair enough.
That's my go-to.
I remember asking you a while ago when I was looking at buying Timken front wheel bearings and I was struggling for price and things like that, and you recommended Bull Motif to me, and it's not somewhere I go to straight away, and I know you are quite a good fan of them. And I went to Bull Motif, and I tell you what, they estimated a shipping date was sort of like 4 or 5 days away from when I ordered, and the next day they'd arrived. So fair play to them. And a Minimime, again, I mean, you only have to go to a mini show to see how good Minimime are. You cannot get near their store. You cannot get near it.
Totally.
They're reasonably priced. They've got everything you need, as in little nuts, bolts, washers. It's superb for stuff like that. So yeah, no, perfect. Two very, very good companies I would recommend as well. So, and I always think it's nice to recommend because I think people do get hung up on bad service and things like that, so it's always nice to recommend good. So Bull Motif and Minimime, great service. And then last question really is obviously, which is a theme, what can we expect to see in 2020?
You know what, I wish I could split myself in 2 or 3 because I've got so many plans. We've got everything going on at the moment, lockdowns, and the priority is everyone's family, everyone looking after themselves, So if there is anyone there, take care, and I hope my thoughts go out to you.
100%.
What I've been trying to do, I've said in my last video a little message about that, but what I'm trying to do now is just focus on the content, because there's a lot more people in the house and there's a lot more people watching these videos. I've had a few questions aimed at me asking when I'm going to put more content on particular cars and things, so I'm trying to be as versatile as I can. So to answer your question and stop rambling, Eleanor, I've just ordered £800 worth of heritage panels.
Superb.
For the rear end, so I'll be getting all of them put on behind me. You'll see there. I've got my 998 engine build, that's getting stripped, so I'll be doing more of that.
Excellent.
Ed, I've ordered £200 worth of parts for him, just to get him sort of smoothly running when we can get back out again.
Excellent.
And I've started work on Misty, the 57 Morris Minor. I've got a video ready to go for that, and I've done a bit of work on that today, and the next stage for Misty is the engine removal.
Oh, superb. Can't wait. No, I mean...
So that's my plans.
Going from what you just said there at the start of that, we are in serious or unprecedented times right now, and like I say, if we can help by just putting up a bit of content to stop people from either going out or being so bored, it's superb. I think that especially YouTube is coming together now to try and create content for people that is entertaining or is just something for people to watch, because I understand self-isolation is boring, but people are trying their best to put content out there. So no, thank you very much, and I think that literally concludes the interview. So listen, DB, thank you so much for doing the interview. I've been looking forward to this one. I really have.
No, thank you, and keep doing these because you're doing a great job.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. Right, we'll leave it there, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Obviously, every Monday I'm putting these out as often as I can. I'm getting as many guests as I can. If there's someone you want to see, put it down in the comments below. Thank you. That's it, DB. Thank you so much for that, bud. I actually really enjoyed that. This is why I enjoy it so much, is because I get answers that you don't expect, which is quite fun.
Yeah. No problem. Thanks for including me.
No problem. Have a good night, DB.